So I was thinking about this whole idea of like how people say like never quit and all this kind of shit, and you probably have seen that little meme illustration of this dude that's like digging a tunnel, and he's walking away from the tunnel like he just gave up on digging, and there's like diamonds just like a few inches away, and you know, obviously the message is like, had you kept going, you know, you would have hit the diamonds, you know, and you would have got everything you ever wanted or whatever. And so I think about that because I'm like, I'm the type of person that generally doesn't give up on things even when it's hard, and I hear a lot of times people will say stuff like, you know, when times are really hard, you know, this is business wise, and I'm sure you can apply this to other stuff, but they say like, when things are really hard and you're really struggling and all this kind of stuff, a lot of times that's what it's like right before the good shit happens, you know. So like if you're trying to grow your business or something like that, and you're just really pushing and struggling and stressed and all this kind of stuff, they'll say, you know, that's what it's like right before, you know, before you hit, I don't know, right before the good shit, I guess is the only way to really put it. And so like, I know in my last few recordings I've talked about how I was stressed out and all that kind of stuff, and like, again, I'm not really the type of person to give up, and I also, you know, I have a team and I have people relying on me to keep going, so it's not really an option to stop. But like at the stress levels that I've reached, I could see a lot of people quitting, and this has happened a couple times in my life where I could see like this is probably where a lot of people would quit and just be like, fuck this, I'm gonna do something else. But I keep going, you know, and I think about it. I think it's kind of like that, similar to what that image is, you know. It's like, if I stop now, I'm probably stopping right before the good shit happens, or if I quit now, it's right before the good shit happens. And I can't stress enough that I'm not thinking about closing my business. It's not something that I'm thinking about doing. I was just thinking about like this level of difficulty is probably where a lot of people decide to do that. And so, but I keep pushing because I feel like there's something on the other side. Oh shit, there's a fucking, I think I'm stuck behind a train track. Maybe that'll work out. So anyway, this time that I'm in right now has been really stressful, and it's been like that for a while, like most of this year, or probably almost most of this year. First month or so was good, and it's mainly like trying to get the marketing spend down and the sales up, which is counterproductive. If you turn down your marketing spend, obviously your sales are likely going to go down, because that's what the whole point of marketing is. But it's something I need to do, and I won't really get too far into why I need to do that. But so we've been experiencing these like slower than usual sales, and it's been really stressing me out a lot. And so so anyway, I've been just kind of pushing and trying to get more content out there and get more organic sales going and all this kind of stuff. And you know, I remember thinking, you know, this is close to more stress than I feel like I can handle, but that's probably not true. But that's just what it felt like. And then it was like last week, about 7 days ago or 8 days ago. I was like, I'm gonna try something with this thing, put this stuff in this marketing campaign and see. Oh shit, there's a coroner right here. I think somebody must have died. That's crazy. I'm gonna do this test, like some advertising shit. I won't get into what it is, but So I did that, and then that day, the ad goes in, it's like a series of ads, a bunch of different creatives and copy and all this kind of shit. And so I put it in. I think it was last Thursday, and sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. So I put the stuff together, and I launched the campaign. Well, I put it into an existing campaign. It's not important. And so on Thursday, I was like, all right, cool. Let's just see what happens. Hopefully that it kind of does something. And a lot of times, like, it'll do pretty well. Nothing too crazy. But long story short, on Friday, I wake up and I see there's some good sales. I'm like, all right, cool. And I look at everything, and it turns out that the ad that the sort of ad sets that I created were actually starting to hit. And so now, after 7 days, if I run a report of those 7 days, we're up 90% from where we were this time last year in that same time period. And so, like, the sales are crazy. So we went from, like, being slow to being super busy. So now I'm on my way to the shop just to kind of check in to see how everybody's doing. But this could be, and this is too soon to really say like anything concrete, but all the signs are pointing that this is gonna probably work for a little while. And so, like, imagine if I had stopped. Like, what if this is like a turning point in our business? Like, we've had big growth periods before, but then you grow, and then you hit a plateau, and then you got to figure out how to get to that next level of growth. And then it's kind of like, it doesn't, at least in my business, it doesn't seem like it's a smooth path upward. It goes up, but it's like it goes up, and it's like a mountain kind of thing. Goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, and then overall you're winning. But like, you have to go through these tough periods. And so I'm wondering, like, what if this was one of those times where I was right before the good shit was about to happen, and I not saying that I would have, but like, what if I did give up right before it? That would totally suck. And there was another time some years back when, this was like nine years ago or something, or I don't know, 8 years ago, I was the motion graphics industry had gotten really tough because all of my customers were in the cable networks, and they were all struggling because the streaming services really started to pick up, and people were canceling cable for streaming services instead. So all of my customers started losing all this work. So then I started losing all this work. And there was a period of time where I was like, I don't remember if it was like 2 months behind or 3 months behind, whatever it is, to where, like, if I was any later, I would have got, like, they would have foreclosed on my house because, like, my mortgage was so late. So I was getting calls every single day, like, hey, you got to pay this. And I'm like, I don't have the money. And so I would manage to scrape up enough money to pay. And I feel like I was, like, right before, when legal action was about to get taken. So I was like, it was a real struggle. And so at that point, like, I could have said fuck it and gave up and done something drastic. I mean, I don't know what I would have done, but I didn't, because I was like, man, with this motion graphics stuff, like, at any point some big job can come and everything will be fine. And that's what ended up happening. I got this one big project came in, and I made a whole bunch of money, and then I was good for quite a while. And there was some times during the 2020 shit that was happening. There was, like, they shut the retail business down, and I couldn't have employees there. So there was all these, like, struggles then, and we didn't give up then. And then there was riots and all this shit, like, riots all around, like, so we had boarded up all of our shit, and, like, we were kind of having people order pickup and coming around the back, and I don't know if I would have given up over something like that, but I don't know, maybe some people do. But anyway, so that's the whole idea of like giving up right before you hit the goal or whatever the fuck. That little image of the guy digging, and he's like, fuck it, I'm done with this. And then there's diamonds like right there. But then I was thinking there's a flip side to it. Like there's another drawing that somebody could make where the guy keeps going, but there's never any diamonds. So he's just going to be sitting there digging for the rest of his life because he's taking this never give up shit like super literally. Like if you say never ever give up, and the guy's like, yeah, all right, fine, I'm never going to give up. I'm just going to keep digging and digging and digging until I hit these diamonds. But what if there's no diamonds and you dig for the rest of your life and there's no reward? Like what's the value of never giving up then? And so I kind of wonder about like, how do you know? I mean, obviously there's like some stuff, there's some indicators usually that let you know that you should keep going, and I feel like I have those indicators. And like with the motion graphic stuff, I ended up sort of like transitioning away from that business, and not because I don't think I could have succeeded there, but because I grew to actually hate that business and hate the type of people that I was working with. Not hate them, but I didn't enjoy working with the type of people that I was working with. And so I decided to put my focus into what I'm doing now, which is the graph shop and the stickers and all that stuff. And so, on paper, I did give up on this business, this motion graphics business, but I don't know if it counts. And I don't know if it's like, maybe, I don't know. If you think about it on the level of what I was talking about before, like maybe I stopped that business because it was a struggle and there was a lot of tough things going on and the industry changed. There was all this disruption that happened because of the streaming services. But let's say, what if I had stuck it out and then all of a sudden landed a contract with like Netflix or something. They start producing all of their their own content, their own, I don't know, movies and shows, or I don't know if they buy them or how that works, but they have like Netflix original shit. Like what if I had stuck it out and I would have gotten into that and started getting customers that way, and then maybe that shit would have taken off had I not give it up. But with that being said, like I didn't like the business. I like the business that I'm in now better, so I don't regret moving away from that. But that could have been an example of like diamonds being like inches away, and I pivoted away from that business and into this business. But I feel like I'm more happy with this business. But I'm just curious about that idea. It's like, how many times do you see people that are like, I refuse to give up, but it's like they're digging in the wrong place and they're never going to hit anything? Because there's a story in the Think and Grow Rich that's very similar to that. It's like, I might have the details not completely accurate, but the message should be the same. It's like these people were digging for gold, and they found this like mine, and it was producing all this gold, and they were making all this money, and then all of a sudden they just stopped hitting gold, and it's almost like they ran out. So they kept like digging in different places and trying to find it again, and they couldn't find it. So the guy ended up giving up, and he sold all of his equipment to like a scrap guy or something like that. And the scrap guy had all this equipment, and he said, well, I'm going to hire an expert and have him tell me where's the most likely place I should dig for this stuff. Because he's got all this equipment, he got it at a discount because the guy was sort of liquidating and all this kind of shit. And so he took that guy's advice and he went and he dug, and in the same area where the other guy gave up, and he found gold and made a shit ton of money. And so, but I mean, I feel like the same could be said. Like the guy could have spent the rest of his life trying to find gold, and there just wasn't gold there. Like, how would you know if you're making the right choice? So it's kind of an interesting thing to think about. I mean, I still lean on the whole idea of, or lean towards the idea of just not giving up, but I have to believe in it. So like with Machine, I mean, I'm never going to give up on it. As of now, that's my mindset. That's been that way for many years. I'm not going to give up on it because I believe in it. But it does get really hard sometimes, and I could see a lot of people giving up where I was a week ago, and I'm not like completely void of stress now, but I'm a lot less stressed than I was because you know, the lost my train of thought. Because the sales are up. And that was my main concern. I was concerned about sales. So, I don't know. So, is never give up the answer? I don't know. I'm not sure. I kind of think it is, but like, you got to be strategic. So, anyway, hope that's helpful. I will see you next time. All right.
Appreciate each and every one of you guys who are supporting the cause and continue to spread the love. And yeah, stay up.